Welcome to this edition of Central Valley Business Today. I'm your host, Lauren Baker, and we are here with Abdul Muhammad, who is an international affiliate of the Carat Gold Bars, and he is here to educate us about the true value of gold and how you can have true financial security. So welcome, Abdul.
Thanks, Laura. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm excited to be here because, number one, we help people, businesses and professional practitioners, nonprofit organizations, associations, really acquire real money. And most people don't understand that our paper money is not real money. So Carat bars have made a category changer in that up until now, the only ones who really acquire a substantial amount of gold would be the one percenters. Mm-hmm. And I've done the research, and everyone from I would say Warren Buffett on down, they really, in the true sense of their real wealth, it is gold. And of course, that is in the billions. Whereas for most of us, we probably don't remember much about our great-great-grandfathers because they didn't leave us a legacy. And for most of us, even in our family, as in immediate family, grandparents and parents, there is no gold. But there may be, i.e., what we will call 401ks and IRAs, and all that is good, but they are subject to the inflation and crisis in the economy. With the 2008 bubble, even real estate showed it is vulnerable to inflation. And what we have is a system that prints money without any kind of restrictions. So the more money you print, you have a situation where it ultimately is called to account to what's backing this money. So you accumulating trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of paper money. So where's the beef, so to speak? And what we have really is what has collapsed ancient civilizations from Babylon through Greece, through even more current situations of Turkey and Germany and Morocco, because all of these countries at a certain point in time, they overextended their paper currency and had nothing to back it up. And so the real reality now is we are really at that same threshold as a country, but not just as a country, as a global economy. You know about Puerto Rico and their financial dilemma. You know about Greece, and those are just a few. Most people don't mention Venezuela, and it's an all-producing country, the fifth largest all-producing country in the world, i.e. they are all experiencing right now economic collapse. So that brings another point. When you're talking about their public safety net, in this country we have Social Security, in this country we have IRAs, and in this country we have 401ks, and a host of other financial instruments. The reality is those financial instruments will only be payable according to the value that is in the country's monetary money. Now, long story short, I was just reading an article this morning regarding the Central Funding Pension Plan, which is a number of states, Illinois, the biggest one, I think, in what we call the Midwest, that is now virtually insolvent. And they are currently looking at and going to be requesting that the payout for the current ongoing retirement people be reduced probably by at least 60%. And the reason is, if it's not, they will collapse in about 10 years. Now, if they say 10, it's probably 5. That's the reality. Obviously, one of the things I want to say is there's nothing to pitch here on my behalf. There's no sales here on my behalf, okay? Because this is about saving some of your hard-earned, what is termed fiat currency. Fiat means paper. It also means that which is on demand or that is just authorized, and authorized without any kind of backing behind it. And our dollar has been strong, number one, because it has been considered, been given the status of the global all exchange economy, meaning for the countries and buying all, the dollar is the currency of exchange. That means that the other problem we have is there is nothing backing the dollar. And at one point, of course, up until 1971, it was backed by gold. Now it has no gold, which means if you have a house, you definitely want to have house insurance. You want some life insurance. You have to have auto insurance if you're going to drive legally.
Absolutely. We want to be safe out there, folks.
And so with gold, you are actually insuring some of your hard-earned paper currency. And most of your financial planners who have an ounce of salt to them will let you know 5, 10, 15, at least 20% should be saved in gold. Why? Because it's a hedge against inflation. It also means should there be a currency collapse, you are safe and secured. Now, we're not talking about going to the commodities market and getting a commodities broker. That's the other thing about this that make it a category changer that really makes this a renaissance for the little guy. The fact is, the only thing you need to open your Karatbars account, and first of all, you can open it free, meaning you don't have to put anything in it, but obviously to have something, you got to eventually save some of your money, put it into gold. So this means that you can have your state ID, a passport, and something that can verify your address for about 6 months, which would be maybe your registration for your car or your utility bill, and download that, scan it, and send it in, and you'll probably within 24 to 48 hours be approved for an account. That's the hardest thing, is getting your documents in.
Sounds cool, like very pain-free, like, you know, can't beat that. It sounds quicker than getting a normal bank account.
As a matter of fact, you're 100% right. It is quicker. The understanding, most people want to know, well, what can I do with it? I mean, once I put my money in there, well, the reality is Karatbars, first of all, make gold affordable to the common masses. That means they sell gold by 1 gram, 2.5 grams, and 5 grams of gold. So I hadn't looked at it today, but a gram of gold today is probably in the neighborhood of $72, $73. And for all intents and purposes, when you're talking about $1,300, $1,400, that sounds very small. But the reality is that's been the problem for the little guy. He cannot afford $1,300, okay? And he can hardly afford to pay his bill. But this begins to give you the power to be empowered to come out of a delusion and a false idea of success. Why? Because we have a credit-based society. Credit makes us slaves to the financial institutions.
Yes, it does.
You buy a house 30 years. Wow, by the time you pay for it, time to check out virtually.
That's very true.
You know,
I wanted to ask you, like, with all of the like pawnbrokers we have in town, and in many towns where they like encourage you to like sell your gold and stuff, would you encourage people to like still do that, or like maybe hold on to what they have?
now we have to understand there's a difference between what we're talking about as Karatbars gold and what is generally the jewelry class type of gold.
Yeah.
Those are items that has what is normally referred to as other materials. The thing about Karatbars, it is 99.9 pure 24 karat gold.
Nice.
The other thing is LBMA approved, London Bullion Market. This is gold that quality-wise governments require and do their transitions, their financial arrangements with. Okay, now you can take a carat bar, a gram of gold to a jury, and obviously they will be glad to take it, but understand they're going to fleece you too, because that's, you buy something for, say, $500, and then you go back to the pawn shop, and they say, well, we'll give you $50.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's looking to make 300%, 400%, the 500% that you originally purchased it for in the first place. So I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm going to finish this piece and I'll make a comment, and that is, in bringing that up, it means that our gold can be stored in Stuttgart, Germany. Carat Bars is a debt-free company. We're doing business internationally in 123 countries around the world.
It's impressive.
And that means we are under the rules and regulations of the WTO, the World Trade Organization. We have the Vatican has a Carat Bar card. So if you have the Vatican with Pope John on that card, then you have to understand there's credibility beyond doubt about Carat Bars International. We also have the U.S. Flag on a card, and obviously to get that, you have to go through certain governmental channels along with the eagle, and about 100-something country cards. Our country having 2 cards, the eagle and the flag. So you cannot get that kind of statue to put the U.S. flag on anything unless you have very strong credibility.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let me get segment into this. Carat Bars also have this is a transaction. This is a gram of gold, if we can sort of see that. And you can get 2.5 or 5 gram cards.
It's a very pretty card.
And this is a DNA card, meaning that everything on this card under black light will manifest the purity of the gold, the owner of the gold, etc. To do transactions on a day-to-day basis, we have the Carat Bars Master Debit Card, which allows you to go to any MasterCard facility in the world and do transactions. So if you're going to, say, London, you don't have to convert to pound. If you want to, that's fine.
Okay.
You can simply use your card or go to the bank and say what you want in pounds, and they will do the transaction for you.
That's very cool. This sounds like it eliminates a lot of hassle for you, no matter what it is.
It does. This is what we are going to see in the future as the new money, the real money, and everyone will have it. This begins to equal the playing field because up until now, 1% of the population control all the gold. That 1% obviously owns more wealth than 50% of the global population. Okay? So this is also about legacy. It's about creating wealth for your future generation. You can leave something for your grandchildren, and you can give something to your children, depending on what age they are, especially when you're talking about college. College nowadays is really what I would call an unfortunate entrapment of the potential of students, because once they get out, first of all, jobs are disappearing. Secondly, with that college loan, they might be in debt $35, $50, $80 or more $1,000.
Till they die.
Exactly. And so this is very important. Now, a lot of people might want to know, what can I do? You can become a customer. That's your saved and go. You're saying, hey, I don't want any aspect of the invitation, of the business aspect of it. Or you can become an affiliate, which means you invite people. I'm saying inviting because you're actually, for the first time, giving people an education about real money. And for the first time, they will be able to really acquire real money for their family. It doesn't burn, it doesn't, salt, you don't have to worry about the water or flood or anything.
Durable in every sense of the word.
The durability is there. So the big thing too is Carat Bars has Carat Bars exchanges all over the world. These are call exchange centers because they can be anything from jewelry shop to any kind of business virtually that deals with probably merchandising, that they can make care bars available to their consumers. Not only that, it is global. So people from around the globe will, in the sense of what is in California, and they're in California, they're going to want to go to the care bars exchange first. Also, with your own back office, as a store or some kind of business, you can begin to do your own marketing and informing and educating people about care bars. The big thing about care bars is having to understand people have to be educated, because we've been programmed to believe gold is not something for us. It is out of our reach. And really, the reality, that's true. Most people cannot afford $1,200, $1,300. And of course, you know, gold went up, I think, relative to 2012, about $1,950. So obviously, that's out of the reach of 99% of the people. This is also another aspect of the Carrot Bar's business opportunity, and that is branding cards. For businesses who want to do sports, schools, etc., you want to do something special and unique for your significant player, your secretary, or your team leader, or your significant, what we'll call manager, then give them something that is doable, something that they will be able to keep for a lifetime and pass to the next generation if they so desire. That would be a Carrot Bar's card. Everything from wedding, bat mitzvahs to, let's say, birthdays for the new grand. Give a real gift, a gift that will endure beyond growing out of a couple of outfits of clothing, etc. Now, this is very important, and that is, with Carrot Bars, I have nothing to pitch, I have nothing to sell. It is simply the person, the business, the nonprofit, taking an opportunity to invest some of their hard-earned money in themselves that is secured against inflation, it is secured against crisis, because what happens when you get to a collapse in the economy, the federal government will implement what is called a holiday. It could be 4 months, it could be a year, it's up to them. But it's not Turkey Day, as in Thanksgiving, it's not Christmas. It's where they go into the banks and they audit the accounts of everybody, really looking to see what kind of precious metals, in particular gold and silver, but not as much silver. They're looking for gold, because they're going to use that currency, which is real money, to try and offset their financial debacle as far as the crisis. Okay, so here with this, you really have an offshore banking account that is not going to be invaded and your resources confiscated, but you'll be in a position to continue your life and deal with your necessities. And this individual CEO from he's CEO for stock overstock.com. Jonathan, he acquired $10 million in gold for his employees. He cared so much about his employees, he wanted them to be safeguarded in the event of any major crisis, that they will be able to secure their family, secure their finances, and still come to work. So that's a beautiful thing. I know we have a short period of time. I would say to anyone who is interested in doing a home-based business, having Carrot Bars within their store, their outlet, and being an exchange center, or any business and organizations that want a very significant branding card as a gift or other particular occasions, this is really the way to go.
Absolutely. How can people contact you if they're interested in learning more about it?
Thanks for asking. I can be contacted at, I hope he has it up on the screen, it would be First, I have a website, which one is Go 24 Karat Bars, and also this one, which is www.go savings with an S 999.carat bars.
Awesome.
And the other important thing is we have, hopefully he might have been able to scan it, what I would call an educational platform, because these particular time frames here are 7 days a week that we ourselves as affiliates, as well as those who are interested in becoming a customer or becoming an affiliate, can really get an education about why Karat Bars is so significant in the global scheme, not just our national situation, but in the global scheme of things. And I invite everyone to, without any kind of what I would call interest to sell you, because I don't have to do that, at least go and look at those times and educate yourself and see what Karat Bars is really all about.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's no excuse not to this point. 7 days a week. It's hassle-free in every way you go. If you invest in it, it sounds like a really great deal.
Exactly. And that's the reality, is Karat Bars is more focused on educating, because once you can really perceive the value and appreciate the value of what this means to the globe, what it means that at least a chance to begin to evolve to some kind of equality financially, a chance to really understand what real money is versus paper currency, and getting out of debt. And this is a way to really help a lot of people get out of debt.
Yes, that's really important in this day and age, for sure,
Yes.
whether you're a student or not.
Absolutely. So I know we have really ran the gamut of time here, and I'm going to give way to your other guests.
No worries. This is Abdul Muhammad, everyone, of Karat Bars. We hope that you enjoyed this segment today and that you'll take the time and the initiative to learn more about it. We have the name at the bottom of the screen, and we've posted the numbers. Stay right here on Central Valley Business. We'll be right back after these messages.